Hello everyone, this is Chinmay from Makeauto Clinic. Today I am going to show you how to remove the leakage from the starter side. In UC engine we have seen most of the time there is a lot of leakage from starter side. Now which is the exact point? There are 2-3 points. Right now in this machine we can see the leakage is basically coming from starter cover side. That means we have to work on the starter cover, but before that we have to make sure we have disconnected everything from the bike. Now which are the spares which you need to disconnect? Number one, you have to disconnect for first wire or the starter wire and the cap, and then starter, and then the cover and starter will be lifted up both all together. Now for that Mr. Amol Selani is going to help us for removal the starter and remove the leakage. Now for that we will be requiring few tools over here. We might require rubber mallet, we will be requiring long body screwdriver, we will be requiring 3 bond for repasting, we will be requiring 4 mm Allen key, we will be requiring 10 mm ring ratchet. We don't require anti bond. Now we are going to use this 4 mm Allen key to remove the bolts from the cover. After removal of all 4 Allen bolts which are given on the top of the cover, you have to use stubby screwdriver. This is stubby screwdriver, which is a very small screwdriver, to remove the starter cap. We have almost removed all the Allen bolts from the cover. Okay, now we'll be removing starter cover. Why we require this stubby screwdriver? Because the distance is very small, so the perfect tool is always important. If you use wrong tool, then you might damage either the cover or the carburetor. So best is to use proper tool. If you know the tools, then you don't have to worry, because the confidence level is always high when you have perfect tool. You don't need to depend on anyone. So now we are going to remove the starter cap or the cover. We have removed the cap. Now we have to remove the cable, both the cables. This is positive cable and this is negative cable. This one positive cable require open end spanner, but before that we will disconnect negative pole, though it is not in active condition right now because the relay is not on, but still for precautionary measurement we are going to remove the negative pole, then the positive pole. For negative pole we will be requiring 5 mm Allen key, and for positive pole we will be requiring ring ratchet or open end spanner. You have to remove both the bolts because the starter is fitted through these Allen bolts. This is the foundation of the starter. Here you can use pneumatic runner if you have angular base. Otherwise Allen key is the best. but not the T, Allen, L Allen. Now we have to remove the positive terminal from the starter motor. For that you will be requiring 10 mm, either ring ratchet or the open end. Now we have removed both the poles. Now we have to remove the starter assembly from the bike. For that we will be requiring long screwdriver to lift up the cover. There are two lifting points which are given from company side. This is the first point and this is the second point. You have to lift up from this side. The second lifting point you're going to use to remove the cover. You don't need to use any hammer right now. Perfect. Now remove the whole assembly from the bike. The starter assembly is in your hand. Now we have to replace the sealant over here. So we will have to repaste the surface. Remember, this is a milling surface, so you cannot use any scraper or something. If you want to use, you can use either chemical or the plastic scraper. So right now I can remove by my hand and I can wipe out the surface. So I'm going to clean the surface and then I'm going to repaste the surface before fitting the starter motor assembly. While cleaning the paste, the old place, best is to keep the rag over here so the old paste or the dried material will stick outside. Now to remove the paste, you can use the raw cloth and just scrub it on the surface like this way. But be careful, this has got a milling surface, so you might get cut. But this face is quite big, so I don't need to worry about it. But better to use cloth. So just rub the cloth on the surface. The old paste will come out. But keep the rag over here and then use the air blower to blow off the old particle. So now after cleaning the surface, you just have to paste this milling surface, but very light layer of the 3-bond is required. On this surface, if you paste, then no problem at all. You don't need to use 3-bond on both the faces. So one face is fine. Now we're going to apply the 3-bond. As I told you before, don't try to use any metal scraper, which may damage the milling surface. So after completion of pasting, place the starter assembly, which is with the cover, on the top of crankcase. Here at this point you might or you may require a rubber mallet. Remember, no need to use any metal hammer, just use a rubber mallet. Slight tapping is also okay. Now I'm going to fix all the bolts. Reverse assembly now. All 4 bolts from this side, 2 bolts from this side, 2 connectors, and then cap. This is how you have to remove the leakage from the starter cover assembly. Thanks for watching. Stay connected.